MRW talking. Hurricane Matthew, NBA preseason, and then Golden State Warriors. Fort Lauderdale, the Hurricane Matthew is about to hit shortly, sometime this evening. I didn't leave mainly because I don't really have a safer place to go to right now. I mean, there are government shelters and whatnot, but I really want to wait it out to see how serious this is going to be. I know that the evacuation zones, they're urging those people, and I'm not in that zone, right? That's like within like a half a mile of the beach, of the coastline. So they're telling those people to get out as soon as possible. Get out now if you haven't already. Even for those who live in high-rise buildings with the hurricane-grade windows, the possibility of flood is still there. And pretty much what the state has said is, if there's a flood, we are not going to come and get you. You've been given 2 days, at least 2 days notice, and and the Florida governor just pretty much said that, if you are in those evac zones and and it starts to flood, they're not going to come and get you. They won't be able to come and get you. So I'm not in that zone. At the same time, I'm sort of playing it by ear. I know I considered going over to Tampa. At the very least, Tampa is going to have torrential rainfall. It won't have the strong winds, but heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. So I'm still facing very severe weather. All right, but you know what? I figured, unlike some people who are still in those evac zones, I do think for the most part people are keeping their ear and eye to the news. And that's a good thing, because already the hurricane has changed course, and they are predicting that it might change course, and also that they're not sure if it will stay on this current course or change another course. So I'm definitely listening to that. But 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, a few days ago, NBA preseason has started. Some teams I am looking forward to, but there are only a handful of teams that I'm going to be stalking very closely. The Warriors, I think for a lot of people, the Warriors are number one. That team is not just loaded, but very, very intriguing. The number of lineups that they can put out there, mind-boggling. It's going to be interesting to see what Durant looks like at the 4. I'm wondering how often will they, will we see KD, Draymond Green, Clay, and Steph out there at the same time? Because the bench, you need that shooting, you need the playmakers. You got to have at least one person to come in with that second unit. They seem a bit top heavy, but I know that it's preseason, and right now Steve Kerr is likely just tinkering the lineup to see what it can do. But he has to know that right now it's top heavy. Even if you do go with all 4 of the All-Stars in the lineup, you can't sit them all at the same time. At some point, you got to pull Steph or Clay or KD early in the first quarter, maybe like 6 minutes in, to bring them into the second quarter, or someone's going to play extended minutes. All right, so that's that's going to be interesting. And then I'm also wondering, are the roles going to be a bit more defined? I know that last year in the finals, Curry was hurt. Some of you disagree, because even after the injury, he came back and had some big games. But if you look at advanced stats, It shows that overall his production declined. Assists, points, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, it all went down. Even though he had some good games coming back after that knee injury he suffered in the first round against the Rockets, overall his numbers went down. He was never the same. He didn't, and even with the eye test, did not have the same kind of lift, did not have the burst consistently. He could not consistently get that shot off or get past his man. But he should have used his basketball IQ. And I don't know who said that. I know that there was an analyst that said that he should have used his IQ, and I agree. Because everyone in that starting lineup has a high basketball IQ. But Steph, in particular, has a very high basketball IQ. And even after the injury, it was still relying on the home run 3-point shot. And I think that got him in a bit of trouble because it's a habit. They had all last year, they habitually won with him taking a lot of 3-point shots. He shot a very high percentage, but then the question I think that was looming around was, when that shot doesn't fall, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do if that shot doesn't fall? Even if it's only for a series or one game, still, what were the Warriors going to do? And the shots kept going up. The shots kept going up and up and up. So this year, I want to see Steph Curry rely more on his basketball IQ. I would like for him to play more of a role as a ball handler, as a facilitator. Still making shots, still shooting, but more as a facilitator. Him and Draymond Green, and just let, for the most part, Kevin Durant and Clay just go off, just put the shots up, and then when necessary, yes, Dre, shoot the three. Same thing with Steph. When times get tough, if KD doesn't have it going, Clay doesn't have it going, just have Steph put the cheat code in and do his thing. The game against the Clippers, holy shit! I mean, they blew the hinges off the door. I think it's not that surprising because I believe last year the Warriors beat down the Clippers too. So a lot of people feel that the Clippers shouldn't match up with the Warriors, and I really disagree because defensively, they don't have the wing players. They don't have enough perimeter players that can move their feet to stay with Steph and Clay. Paul can play defense, but then if you're being forced to switch quite a bit, then, at some point Paul is going to end up on KD and Clay. Both those guys are at least 6'8". And up. So, and then he actually has a hard time guarding. It's Steph. So everyone has a very difficult time guarding Curry. So, I really don't see how people feel as why they say that LA should match up with them. LA for a long time has been trying to go out and get a wing player. That's why they brought in Jeff Green. That didn't work out. Jeff Green hasn't worked out since OKC. Afterwards, they brought in Lance Stevenson off the Pacers. I thought that was going to work out. I like his playmaking skills, his tenacity, his ferocity on the defensive end. I thought that would work out. No, I don't. I think there were games when he didn't even start, or towards the end he didn't even start. So they know what the weakness is. They just haven't been able to replace it. They have Austin Rivers, Doc Rivers' son. He has played great, right? He has played great. Many people feel that, he's only on the team because his father is coaching the team and president of operations. There might be some truth to that, but he has produced, right? He has produced well enough to the point where they, haven't had to rely solely on Jamal Crawford, because he is not a defensive player. He is more of a microwave. You need someone that can come in, play some defense, and give you some offense. And Austin Rivers gives you a really good mix of that. Not at a very high clip, but he's still better than Stevenson. And he is still better than Jeff Green, for those of you who don't like Austin Rivers. This year, the Warriors' margin of victory, at least my line, and I don't know what the Vegas line is, but if I had to put my line out there, if I was a casino, if I was Vegas, I would put the line at, I would say through the first half of the season, I'm going to put the average margin of victory by 17. All right, 17. I'm going to go slightly over. Right, the line was at 17. I'm going to go over at about, I don't know, 19, 20 points through the first half of the season. I think, if you're asking, well, why not, take it forward the entire season? Why? Well, because the Warriors are not going to press like they did last year. They're not going to go for the single season wins total, whatever. They're not going to go for that record. However, I do think that they will go for the Lakers record of the in-season win streak of about 34 wins, which is why my line during the first half of the season, I've got their average margin of victory at about 20. Once they break that record, they're going to keep going until they lock up home court advantage throughout the playoffs and finals, and that's it. And that's where I think many people have, and I think the Vegas line is at about what? Vegas has them at like 60, I think 67 wins. I'll say this. If it takes 6-7 wins for them to secure home court advantage throughout the playoffs and finals, then fine. I think they'll go for 67. But if they can get it at like 64, even 63, they're not going to go for 67 just for the sake of. I just they won't do it. I just can't see it. Other teams that has looked good so far. I'm from Chicago, so I'm a bit biased, but I'm not going to go so far as to say that they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But they look really good. The ball movement looks good. The ball movement swings. It doesn't stick. With Wade, Rondo, the ball it moves fast, right? I still think that they won't be able to produce enough points to win a lot of games. Best case scenario, they're fighting for a 7th or 8th seed. Milwaukee's going to be much improved this year. Wade is not going to play enough games, so as a result, Chicago's not going to win enough games without Wade in that lineup, right? Rondo, again, is not a shooter. He's going to get you some assists. The question is how many of those assists will actually matter, right? Like when the game is in hand, like when the game is winnable versus when the game is not winnable. It doesn't matter if he has 3 or 4 assists when the game is within reach, and then when the Bulls are getting blown out by like 20 late in the fourth quarter, he racks up another 6 assists. I mean, those assists don't matter. But then the possibility still exists that they can make a trade. I think they will make a trade. There's a reason why, and this is, and being a Chicago fan, growing up in Chicago, the Bulls have never made 2 big splashy acquisitions like this. They made one here, one there, but never within the same offseason. Never. Not that I can remember. So the signing of Rondo and Wade signifies that there will be a trade with another team before the deadline, the December deadline. I think it's been talked about. It's already in the works. And for any of you that are Bulls fans, you should know that the Bulls, when they are doing deals, they come out of nowhere. They come out of nowhere. So they've got something in the works. So when it happens, best believe that it wasn't sporadic. It wasn't spur of the moment. The deal was done months in advance. I'm hearing Kevin Love. And then I think there was another team, and then Sacramento, DeMarcus Cousins. Again, Chicago is one of those teams that would be a great fit for DeMarcus. There are only a few teams that he can go to that can handle him, and that's Chicago's one, Miami, and then Cleveland, San Antonio. Let me see. Again, maybe like a OKC. Because all those teams, they have a good stability within the organization. They have stronger coaches. I mean, he can go to LA too, but I don't think right now LA has the pieces. I mean, they could trade Blake Griffin, but I'm still of the mindset that he is not the problem. He's almost at the top in terms of maxing out his abilities. I still think that his defense needs to improve. This jump shot is good. The ball handling is good. I never thought he would ever have that type of handle. But something is going to go down with Chicago. I'm pretty sure. New York, again, I in the offseason, I thought, and I was for the trade. I was for the D Rose trade. But now seeing the highlights, I think long term, I don't see how that can work, because I think that you need a pass first point guard. Not to say that D Rose is a ball hog, but you need more of I think you need more of a Chris Paul on that team. Someone with really good vision, a Jason Kidd. D Rose is not the setup guy like those guys are. He's really a high scoring two guard in a point guard's body. And I think long term that doesn't work. But at the same time, you get more production out that position. All right, you get so much more production from him versus who was there, the point guard, Jose Calderon. Right, I like him, but D Rose is a better player. I know that there are a lot of D Rose haters out there who would say that, well, if you look at these numbers, Calderon is actually better. But come on, without having looked at the advanced stats, the eye test tells me D Rose gets to the rim more frequently, therefore it draws more fouls. Now, overall, I would say that he makes it happen, whether it's a pass, but mostly it's scoring, getting his own shot. Whereas Calderon was a better setup guy, right? But he just did not have the speed to get to the rim. So therefore he doesn't draw the same kind of fouls that D Rose draws. So yeah, I mean, everyone else, Toronto looks like Toronto. DeRozan's still taking tough shots. Hopefully, at some point during the season, he will be able to generate easier shots. Because, again, that was a big issue for Toronto in the playoffs, was him taking difficult shots. Yeah, there are only so many games you can win in a 7-game series when the team has an opportunity to game plan against you, on top of you taking difficult shots. He's got to find a way to get easier shots. Let me see. What other team am I looking for? I think OKC is going to be much more interesting than people give them credit for. I heard estimates as much as a 10-game, 15-game drop-off. I don't see it. I don't see it. Kevin Durant is a big talent, but they brought in Victor Oladipo. I don't know why Orlando gave up on him some early. I think this is one of the reasons why so many people are not a Scouts fan. This could be the reason why he might never coach again, or he won't be coaching for a long time. Oladipo now on a team that's playing for something. He's going to be big now. He does not have the jump shot that KD has, but he can get to the rack. He's going to get to the rack. He's going to draw a lot of fouls. He's not exactly the playmaker that KD was. Not that KD was a playmaker like Westbrook or even like a Chris Paul. I mean, he's not that kind of a playmaker, but still, with Victor Oladipo, you're going to get more attacks, just more attacks at the rim, just constant attacks at the rim. Plays a lot like, not just like, but a lot like Westbrook. So I think those two are going to click. I think there's going to be an mutual admiration for one another's game. It's going to be fun to watch them. It's going to be very, very, very fun. The big kid, Sabonis, for those of you who's not familiar with Sabonis, I think the kid, I don't know his first name, but he is the son of Arvydas Sabonis, the big guy, 7 foot, 2 guy that played for the Blazers many, many years ago. He was really good. His son looks good. The league has been raving about him. One thing that I can say is excellent footwork. What he can do in traffic, and that's one thing that I try to pay attention to with big men, is what they can do in traffic in limited space, and the footwork, the patience to make a pass when the defense has them surrounded, or even to use footwork to make a shot. I mean, just the presence of mind not to rush the movement in order to make a play. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Him and Cantor on the same team, that's going to generate a lot of offense because both are very, very good passers. They seem to be offensive-minded big men, which is going to help replace a lot of offensive production with the loss of KD. So that is my spiel, my speak, my talk on the weather down here in Florida and the NBA preseason. Post your comments and questions below. Did I miss anything? Let me know. And for those of you who have not subscribed already, please subscribe. Until next time.